Good evening. Welcome to Risk Neutral Trading, the Asian orb experiment here. Yeah, this is just an extension of. I have a commitment that to never take any trades off of the live stream. All the trades that I take are live on stream. Nothing's ever recorded or replayed or any of that. So if I'm going to investigate the possible opportunities for these, the Globex and also the Asian orb trades, I need to have the stream up. So if there is something presents itself, I can take the trade. And that's the purpose of these. It's really more or less an extension of my homework, but since it needs to be a live trade, I'm gonna do that. Now, let me say that, as I mentioned, I only take live, vetted, statistically proven trades to have a positive edge or expectancy. And sorry, I'm messing with the mouse there. And so I only execute those trades on Bookmap. But there is not any intention of financial or trade advice in this stream. I'm just showing publicly what I'm doing at the moment, sort of for more or less for transparency and accountability. But there's a disclaimer in the description, so please read that. It's not for trade or financial advice. This is what I'm doing, and I'm recording it as my journal. The idea here is that I have all of my video is on my two main monitors here are captured and by OBS, and my voiceover provides insight as to what I was thinking, so it's a complete detailed recording. Look at this. Boy, that open would have been, a 3-bar reversal open would have been spectacular, wouldn't it? Well, wait a minute. 15 to 21.5, only 5 handles. I'm just playing around with some different ideas here. This is Bookmap. Typically, I have it looking quite a bit different. I was looking at the candles. Very seldom remember that they have candlesticks in IRT or in Bookmap, but they do. And now we're pushing this orb high way up here, which is good. It's going to expand the range. And so these, the retracement zones will have enough meat on the bone, you know. That's 10 handles there, so each one of those is going to be about 2.5 points now between each one of these for now. This goes for an hour, so you don't know, we don't know how it's going to end up. I don't know that this is any kind of a, I was looking at something on YouTube actually, and somebody reminded me of a 3-bar reversal, and I was looking these over. Here's a beautiful one, but of course it's going right into the Asian Open. Maybe that's a good idea, you know. But there's a 3-bar reversal, absolutely perfect. Actually, it's not perfect. I think this is supposed to be a sell bar. I think the bottom one, by definition, is supposed to be in this case, a selling bar. And then, but the rest is perfect. You know, come down to it. Wick below, substantial body. The next bar comes up and takes out this high. And then this bar wicks back into here, and that would be the classic long for a 3-bar reversal. And up here the other way. Only not really, because you see, this is the long wick. This is not correct. That's typically how I have it. I've gotten these a little more liquidity dialed in here. Usually I have it pretty well filtered out. So let's see what's up. It's, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. It's 1900, 15th of July, 1900 Central Standard Time. These are the opening range high and low, other way around, and the zones for trading. My trading based on a strategy over here. Based on this strategy, and right here, they're just starting to form up. Right there. And that's all based on Edgefield data, which is a data analysis tool I've been trying to lean on. Save myself a lot of work vetting these setups. Just going to be a pretty low impact session. I mean, I only take trades which are statistically verified or vetted by me. So during the regular trading hours, it's sometimes I don't take trades, but this is going to be a lot of poking and looking around here. Hope to God tweets or us is having dinner or doing something. Tired of that craziness. Craziness. I'm going to throw a vertical line on here I always put the vertical line on the first print of every session. So I can tell, I can glance left, and if I see this blue boy over here, then I know I have the complete session in view. So there's no question about me having the correct perspective of context. What's this? I don't know. This is some craziness here. This looks like... What kind of thing is this? So I'm going to slap another one on here just so I can have an idea where this Asia started. Good enough. Let's see now the tools I'm using instead of just doing all the grunt work over here, building these strategies and doing all the back testing and everything like that. I am trying to lean on Edgefield, which is this. So let's get it set up for tonight and see what we see. it's Thursday. This is trading for Thursday. So that's our probability for this breakout of the initial balance or the ORB levels, the high and low. MES 3 years, this zone. And what other nonsense have I got going on here? Anything? No. Okay, I'll make sure that I've got my trading view happening here. Because this has been this is a really nice thing to use, I gotta admit. So here we are, and the first level to be put in is right here, and that's the low. That's important for this data. That's important for the analysis of the data. So far we've got a 9.25 point range. This is the low, that's the high. The low was put in first. Okie dokie. What are we gonna do? Well, likely suspect up here for the London and for the Asia high. Asia high and low, no. What do we got for anything way over here? Well, there's the IB high for today. We did not take it. We only took the IB low. But what a volatile day. Huh? Okay, so that's important to know, and I'll show you why. For the next, what's going on now? What is all this shit? Does this every once in a while? I don't know. I guess they probably reboot them or restart them or do something to them. I don't know. Make sure you paid them. I suppose. That's their version of a call home, maybe. Now I gotta start all over. It's pretty annoying. Okay. I should just reboot that every night, and I never remember it to do that. So, remember when I said which one formed first? Well, here we go. The IB low formed first at this point, and there's no problems here, but we do need to dial in the day in the custom settings here. All days, it's going to be Thursday. All right, so based on this one forming first, the only filter we have so far is the Thursday. We don't have the size or the ending zone. There's a 66% probability we're going to take out the ORB high first. And let's see. Look at them go. Picking off this liquidity one after the other. The RTH high, they're just rocking and rolling. So did somebody say something? Or Trump giving out free money or what? You know, it's kind of to be expected. We have this big squeeze and then close right up here by the highs, and they just continue. Right? That's kind of looks to me like what they're doing. Like I said, this is only to look at opportunities and see if there's anything that looks like it's worth doing, because this is crowding in on my homework time. This is typically when I would do homework or rest. And so I'm not a maniac. Well, there are those that might argue with that, but So here are our orbs and these percentages here, and you'll see that they are reflected here on the because these are pushed directly to bookmap by IRT here, these values. And then we have the corresponding trading view ones, and pretty soon we're going to need to want to know where this closing zone was and the width of the IB, or the size of the IB. Got a case of the yawns going on here. I'm yawny. Anyway, here we go. Ooh, look at us go now. They went up there and said, thank you very much. Now they're going the other way. Back down to our bar here. This would be considered a consolidation, right? So it's a breakout and a retest. My problem with that is I'm not ever sure which way to jump. Which way does that mean? What I understand so far from guys who trade that is it has to do with you would go in the direction of context. Well, the context at this moment is flatter board, right? Remember, this is the full session volume profile over here. Did I run through the programs or the platforms? I don't even know if I did. Maybe not. Well, this is bookmap. This is IRT. My high time frame or micro composite chart. This is the market profile. Micro ES, micro NQ, and I also have the minis over there. This is the high time frame chart. This is what we did today. This is the in the header of all of these charts, there is the instrument, the chart type, the periodicity, and the session. So these are daily RTH session bars. So each one of them is the full RTH session. This is the session that just closed, the one from 8:30 in the morning till 1600. And day before and Friday and on. Or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Wherever the price here overlaps, I continue this volume profile, and that gives me a micro composite VPOC, which is this yellow line, and these high and low volume nodes, which are these red and green. These lines, these red and green lines, represent the high and low nodes in this volume profile, the micro composite. Those values push to bookmap, as do the session prices. And there they are. There's the high and low volume nodes and the session prices. No indicators anywhere on IRT or bookmap, just volume, percentage or probabilities, and price. Over here is POC, just the price at which the most contracts have traded so far in the session. VWAP. There you go. You go. Now I would guess that this. I would be wondering if that was setting up a 3-bar reversal. Q, yeah, kind of. Let's see, maybe it was the best place to look at that. I tell you, this Trading View is about the best place to see everything. Well, no, that's not a 3-bar reversal because it's not 3 bars yet. That's why it's deceptive here, huh? Let's see if we can turn on the candlesticky wikis, and that's what I was looking at when this thing started. Let's get rid of the last price. There's something, if you ever are using this setup here. Not really a 3-bar reversal. Okay. these bars don't plot exactly like normal. They fill this gap, you know, like if you're looking for the last price, the bar starts and then then when the thing ends, it'll be over there. It's confusing to me. I don't think they mean for you to use candlesticks, but I was trying to look at some stuff earlier. There's one. That's pretty easy. Yeah, let's trade that. Splatter plot. Splatter plot. Easy for me to say. Last price. You can have all kinds of nonsense on here that it's confusing for me. You can have bid, ask, last, thousands of, you know. Whatever you do that's consistently profitable, absolutely do not change it. That's my advice. And my purpose here is definitely not my way or the highway. This is what I'm doing, and I have it out there for all the world to see. And for accountability and transparency. Nobody can ever say that I didn't trade live on the stream and what was I doing, because there it is. Now, if you look at the stream 3 days from now, it will be a recording, obviously, because it's, was recorded live, but none of that playback or, with, especially love the guys they get out the trading view one. Well, I, saw this come up here and this is where I took my long and I got down here and, okay, why don't you just record that and then show us? And then you don't have to spend all that time editing the film. You can just do it real. Took that liquidity and then jumped it all the way up for whatever reason to 27. Well, look at for whatever reason. If you just have a look across here, look at all the highs up here. There's where we are today. There's yesterday, and this is the Globex, right? This is the full session. And here, yeah, no. I'm trying to just refine simple, straightforward, uncomplicated, data-driven setups that have that I can backtest and identify or verify have positive expectancy. And then I can trade it every time it enters, presents itself in the live market, and I will rely on the law of large numbers to build my account. And that's the way to do it, as far as I'm concerned. I have the ORB here on all of these. For example, the setup. Oh, wrong tab. Sorry. The setup over here. It's all set up for 1 hour. Same case with the Edgefield data and the first 1 hour, wherever it went. Yeah, for 60 minutes. And the same with the trading view. So everything's the same. I keep the ORB, the opening candle continuation, the same as the IB. This is actually the IB indicator for, I don't think I mentioned that. The reason I'm using TradingView now, and I'm really happy that I discovered it, when you have a subscription to Edgefield, you have access to all of these indicators here, or whatever they are, scripts, indicators, I guess, for Trading View, which I have never used before, but boy, it's really handy. Real clear, sharp view, you know, and handy and light, and got some code stuff figured out over the weekend, you know, and yeah. So we got 12 handles wide, so we're 3 points across each one of these, right? So, you know, 12 divided by 4 is pretty much 3. Where it was in Montana, anyway, down here, but where I grew up, that's how we did it. So this is boring now. This is the boring part. We haven't even been 30 minutes in it yet. So... And this stream is going to wind up at the top of at about 2100. So, and I am not at all expecting to take any trades. I'm just watching this. Now, if something sets up by the data, I will. But I'm not now. I'm going to try to get this filtered out better. I don't like all these little blocks laying all over everywhere. Make this 110. And make this 100. Didn't do me much good, did it? That's one thing that I don't think you can do. I don't think you can see, you know, like hover over something and it tells you what it is. Maybe you can, but I don't think so. I want to be sure not trade or just do something stupid. No, I don't think so. Wait a minute, watch this. Wait, there is a hold it, nobody move. There's a tool tip here, so let's see what this thing's. Yeah, there you go. So this is ask. These are sellers laying up here to 123 contracts. Oh, there you go. Learn something new every day, huh? 171 contracts. Now, just notice that it's only 91 over here, so they either traded some of them out or something happened to them. And it varies along this line, but that means I can, that means then I think I can tweak this. Oh shit, sorry, you're looking at the wrong thing. Sorry about that. This is what I'm trying to do is tweak these liquidity so that I don't like all these little blocks of stuff laying around here. What is this one here? It's a $1.10. $1.20, wow. Huh. Well, let's just do it and deal with it. Let's just do it and see what we get. How I typically have this is 100 and 150, or 200 actually, in the daytime. Let's see what we get now. Oh, I think that got rid of them. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. That got rid of all those little blocky walkies around here, and we got the real liquidity laying in there. Good for me. Yay. Yay me. It's been a long day. Had a 4 o'clock call this morning for Tam, and I've been going ever since. So I went by 12 hours. Yeah, that's kind of amazing. I went by 12 hours 3 hours ago. Okay, I like that. That's fine. Now what do we got happening over here? So we are still doing nothing. We have just now completed the first 30 minutes. And so far, I think we're still in the same configuration. Now, obviously, remember, if this comes down and puts in a new low, then all of a sudden the data flips around on its head, right? Then all of a sudden the first level forms is up here. I'm being called by the boss, I think. Stand by. VPOC migration. I'm going to point something out that I don't like for the record. First, I'm going to pour a glass of wine, which I do like, and then I'm okay. You see how the VPOC, the RTH session VPOC just migrated right here? See that? That's because even though this is the RTH volume profile in Delta, they reset at 8:30 in the morning. But because we're trading down here right now, notice that these values are going up with price. So these values are being added to in this Globex and will do so all night. Which really sucks. I don't like that at all. This doesn't belong there. That's not where it was. It was way down below us. That's because this is not the RTH session, you know. I've actually pinged a book map about a couple of things like that. To be able to just set this damn thing, I want it to reset at 8:30 in the morning, and I want it to stop plotting or go until 1600. You know, boom, that's it. And then this thing kicks in and does whatever. And I don't think there's a way to do that. If anybody that's listening here or coming by this at any point knows, let me know. Because that's very misleading. The RTH low, the RTH VPOC is right here. Well, this is where it actually ended. It should be actually right there. Because it moved up just, and what happened was, it was right here, and then I think it's just moved up here now. Hold on a minute, Steve. Yeah, so there we go. Just whining. Whine. I'm a whiner. So let's plop that in there. That's a naked volume point of control. And this is another thing. Since the new edition, you see how these are all chopped off? Well, if I go like this and do it again, then it's correct. It's just, and I don't even bother. I don't even care. I just know that I need to plunk it twice. Okay. But that, this is like my number 2 pet peeve. My main pet peeve with them is that this column right here is really dangerous. If you have the trade control panel activated and you accidentally click here for any reason, or notice, wait a minute, you can't notice. I don't have it on. Let me just make this simulated. No, this is real. I can't make it simulated. Okay. Notice how the mouse cursor changes from an arrow to a $sign. If I right click or left click right there right now, there's an order. There is an order executed. Watch the $sign and watch my mouse. Now, if I'm over here over these prices and I think I'm going to move the session prices up and down or that price ladder to rescale it, and I left click right there, that's a long order. That is a market order long. And what should happen is if you use this right here, you should be able to have market orders throw a really, do you really want to do that? And that's why I selected that, but it does not work. All that does is, the only time that works is if you use the keyboard. The hotkey. It doesn't work with the mouse in this column, and that's bad news at the ranch. And I'm turning that back off because I'm not trading this mess. Okay. right, I'm stepping away here for some nice dinner. Okay, we did push out a new low. So what we've now done, let me just quickly go through this. Be right there. We've now pushed a new low, you see? So now the IB high formed first. So the data that we're going to be looking at when this orb sets with Edgefill is going to be this one. The IB high was formed first. So now these are the probabilities, and we still need the ending zone and the IB size. And go back to bookmap. This on. Well, let's see now. That was a hell of a dinner. We're 18 minutes past. We broke out just now. We broke out the low first. Are we going to pull back to the 25? That would be the big question, isn't it? Let me see how quickly I figured all that out and how remotely accurate it was. So we just got a 13. Okay, well, that's not much better. We just broke out to the low. The high was put in first. So that means we have a 0 to 25 ending zone, and we have a 117. That's basically nothing. Okay, let's do the ending zone thingy over there. And 0 to 2. Okay. So right now, we have a 50-50 chance. That's always fun. Got to make it more time. There we go. 58 to 25% chance that we're going to take the low, and we did. We already know that part. Now what we need to do is where am I? Yeah, okay. The reclaim part. So we're 02. No, we got to change this, and we got to change that. Okay. They don't follow along with other. This is Thursday, and this is right here. And where'd that other one go? Okay. So we took the breakdown. We got a 72% probability we're going to pull back to the 25 right here. And then 33% we make the 50. Well, we don't need this anymore. Oop. And we're likely not to get this pullback. So the orb set here at 2000, and we broke out, and we're looking for the pullback. Maybe not. I'm looking for bed. I'm tired. I got to admit. I must admit. And in reality, the my typical rules here are A, that's very little meat on the bone, first of all. And second of all, I'm going to require a pullback to the 50 before I would go short in this time frame, or this session. Well, they're fast approaching the witching hour here when I turn into a pumpkin or a snorkin. Maybe that's it. Made a real big blunder today by just hesitating on a trade. Really stupid. I've got to get over that. Absolutely. Mm. 30 more minutes here, pretty quick. And I'm going to button this thing up. And I don't even think I'll make this one public. I'm not into it, I'm not thinking about it or doing anything worthwhile at the moment. Tired, I guess. Let's Let's do one thing though. Let's look and see what's up for tomorrow. Today was PPI. Yesterday was CPI. What do we got tomorrow? DPI. Retail. So retail sales. The Philly Fed. Initial jobless. Well, here we go. Big day for new numbers. And the earnings have got to get ramping up here pretty quick. It's let's see what we got tomorrow. Taiwan Semiconductors. Now it's starting to build. See that? How many scrolls I had to get through to get to that list? Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 sometimes once it gets going. We got United Healthcare, Taiwan Semi. I don't see any big hitters out yet, or the Mag 7 bimbos aren't showing up, but earnings is spiking up. Am I in the right window? Yeah, I am. Cool. This is investing.com, by the way, which is my usual old news source. You can filter it for whatever you want. They only really focus on traditional economic reports and numbers, which is what I like. And if you notice, the header of each event turns into a URL when you hover over it, so you can go find out all about the PPI if you don't know what it is. And then, of course, as we're watching, there's earnings and there's all kinds of stuff. Now, the other news source that I use is Financial Juice, which is different in a lot of different ways. First of all, you can filter it for whatever you want, and it's free also. My thinking is to keep this stuff free so that it's available to anybody that comes through the stream and needs it or wants it or is interested in it. And URLs are right here, so it's no big secret. But the thing about Financial Juice is if something like right here, this is tomorrow at 8 o'clock, Trump's going to make a big thing to try to, this is the beginning of what he hopes is the end for elections. Still grinding on 2020. Anyway, I have some comments about that, but I'll reserve them for later. I mean, the funny thing to me about it, the interesting thing to me about it, everybody already knows what he's up to and what he's going to say and, you know, his declassified documents and all this stuff. But ask yourself, who was the president and the administration for the election of 2020? There was no problem with Obama 1, Obama 2, George Bush, Joe Biden. Then there's 2020. And who was the president in 2020? Who was the administration who oversaw everything to do with elections in 2020? And then who was the president? Then Biden was president for this previous election, and there was no problem. No problem. There's no voter fraud. There's no anything. This last election. So the only election that they are contesting and saying it was voter fraud was when they were in charge, and the president and the administration. For the last 20 years. It's really, I find it so bizarre that they haven't figured that out. Or I'm not going to listen to it because it just incenses me, but how they're going to try to spin it somehow or another is going to be, I'm sure, pretty interesting. But, just stop and think about that. For 20 years, the only administration that Trump is claiming allowed voter fraud was Trump's administration. There you go. And all of the independent people and all the people before and after and even in his administration said no. He lost the election. There was no fraud. But, that's, there you go. And, and it's all because of the fake news, and which is Fox News and those guys. So don't get me started. It's late. I'm pissed. Where are we going? Who's on third? Oh, breakout, baby. Here's a breakout and a retest. We're going to get a bar trade over here. I'm going all in. And I'm not going all in. One thing I don't have a problem with is like overtrading and all that stuff. So it's boring as hell to stand here and watch. Now, I do have a problem with paralysis analysis or analysis paralysis or whatever it was. Like today, I didn't take the trade, and last week a couple times, same idea. It was completely stupid. I realize that it's my problem. Most definitely. Most definitely. Anyway, maybe I'll start trading in London. Something. I gotta get away from all this stupidness. I don't really see any opportunities there, though, to be honest with you. Even when I look at the easiest way to tell is just jump over here and look at the session, right? There's New York, and here's London, and half of it is covered by Asia, and it goes up to 10 o'clock in the U.S. session. So the London session, it was really this nonsense here. I don't know that would be any kind of thing that I would be able to turn to a benefit or turn to an advantage for myself. I'd love to be able to do that, but it's just like now. It's quite possible and likely, I would say, that they're going to trade this thing up to probably get a trigger and maybe new highs, whatever. But it's going to take, just like down here, This finally happened at midnight, and it entered the trade after finally breaking out and pulling back. It entered the trade at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Well, I was gone about 2100. So, not saying anything wrong with that, but the longest session is Asia, obviously, and then the U.S. So I don't know how to escape it. I don't know how to escape the madness. Pretty disappointing, though, I'll tell you that. Here was my missed trade right there. Am I in the right window? Where am I? No. My missed trade right there. The whole hootenanny. No, I'm sorry, it was right here. The breakout. Right back to my targets. Or my triggers. And look at what would have been the result with no stop, no heat, no nothing. So, and I was standing here and narrating it. It's nobody's fault but my own. Nobody to blame but me. I just wussed out and did not hit it. I won't mess with Bookmap because I'm just not in the mood, but It was definitely there. And that's the kind of a thing that you can't miss. Those kind of trades make your week or your month. You know, you got to take advantage of those opportunities when they present themselves and not just be swimming in shit with everybody, you know, and they're, you know, trying to scrape out ticks. That's the one of the newbie, I think, or the inexperienced retail kind of mentalities. And I want to really be I want to really be on guard about that. Remember, this stream is my virtual journal, so the only way I get what I'm thinking into the stream or the journal is to narrate it, this voiceover. All the video that I'm watching is in there, but the only way I can get this recorded for what I was thinking and need to work on is my voiceover here. And my singing, of course, you know, all important. Pretty soon I'll start playing the harmonica for you, and then you'll really be excited. Okie dokie. All right, now what's it going to do? Come bobbing up to the 25 or the 50 here? Bobbing along. Oh, and we've got 10 minutes. Another problem that I have, well, I guess that's probably kind of stupid, but it is a problem, in my opinion. If I were to put a trade on now, you know, I'm shutting this thing down and I'm going to bed, and you know, I'm gonna step away in 10 minutes. How would that work out? I'm not going to do anything until we get up to the 50% handle, even though so I don't have to worry about a trigger yet. But that's something that I always think about with the Asia session. That's actually why I'm using multi-brackets here, because if I were to put a trade on, I would just leave it. I'd just let it run. There's stops and targets and OCO orders. Now with the hedge trade management system, no can do. All right, so let's see if this thing's going to actually get its act together here. Let's see what we're doing. Well, I don't remember now. What happened first? Who's on third? I don't. Okay, we took the IB high was formed first. The IB low was taken out. Oh, and this thing's already taken a trade at the 25. This little guy over here. The algorithm. So we have 72. Excuse me, 72%. We pull to the 25, which we have already done, and 33% we get up here to the 50. Oh man, and I'm going to shut the damn thing off in 10 minutes. Not cool. Not cool. Cool. I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We have everything baked in and proof of concept here. Here's the trade. The algorithm has taken it. There's the trigger, the breakout, pull back to the 25. I should redo this to have the short should be from the 50 actually, but I'm been lazy about changing that code. Short at the 25. 2 lot. For all the world to see, there's a record right there. Now this is in edge. This is in whatever this thing's called, Trading View, and it is just marching along over here. But I'm not going to. Well, had I done that, I'd probably be in the money now. Oh, I would be in the money, but am I at a take profit? No. Take profit is 24 ticks, which is 6 points. So, where am I now? 18 and 6 is about 12, the way I remember it from school. We got to get down to here before we have 6 points. So we've got to get down to this 12 level down here to be, well, 1850, say the 12 half. We got to get to the 12 half down here, which is damn near the low, before we have a T1, not T2 or anybody else. You can see where T1 is right here. This is different. I haven't changed these parameters, but that's the target. I'm not taking any trades, obviously. If you want to look at this from a static point of view, this is a consolidation here, right? There. So this is a breakout and a retest. Breakout and retest. I don't know. I'd like to be able to figure that one out, but I haven't. Pretty cool. Did I get all of this right? The closing zone is the closing zone is here. Yeah, so that's 0 to 25. The way you assign those percentages is opposite the first formed level. Level. So it's 0 to 25, 25 to 50, 50, 75, 75, 100. And there it is. That's the closing price, the last closing price within the orb range. So this one opened in the range but closed outside. So this one is it. It's because I use 5-minute candles. By the way. And yeah, that's pretty much where everybody wanted to do business right there, and it carries on from, where we pulled up to as before the end of the close, after the close. The close and swing, the curb trade is right here. It's what they used to call that. Actually, they called the curb trade the 15 minutes after the cash close because, people would be still out on the street trying to haggle with each other at the in the pits. So I'm told. I was not a pit trader. That would have been a nice experience, I'm sure. But as you can see, well, there's a lot of consolidation right here. Support, resistance, whatever you want to call it. Last couple 3 days. I gotta make a note to change this short to the 50 because that's how I always think about it in these goofy Globex times. All right, 3 minutes, and this bad boy is going to go kablank. Now, obviously, my machines will continue to run, and the thing will trade out, and I don't turn anything off. The only thing that goes off is the stream, and because I have to set up the stream for tomorrow morning, 0800 Central Standard Time for the normal stream, which is at the complete cash close or cash market plus the 30 minutes before. And we've got some news, as you saw, in the morning. Now, tomorrow's a pain in the butt because I have the TAM run tomorrow is 9:30. So right at the IB set, I have to leave. Today it wasn't a hassle. Well, today I wasn't. No problem. Yesterday it wasn't a hassle. I was back before anything had developed particularly. Double top, M shape, reversal. This thing gonna make money here. Watch this short make money. Minute and a half. And I'm glad. I have to say I'm tired. And one of my speeches is to make sure that you're properly rested and hydrated and fit, exercise, and so I'm kind of breaking my rule here, but I'm not trading it. So this is homework study, which I do every night and weekend. So I would actually be replay trading on Bookmap some random day to see testing whatever it is I was testing. That meat on the bone concept is pretty important. You see, typically with the edgeful, as I understand, when these pullbacks, you're targeting the level, right? The IB high or the ORB high or whatever it is. And anything past that is kind of gravy, except they do have a levels report. But like tonight, you better make sure you've got enough meat on the bone to satisfy your risk plan and your trade management plan. Getting from wherever you entered up here to this zone, and anything past that is good for you. But as I enter, this is how I interpret it. And remember that from here to here, it's 12 ticks. 6 ticks. So, Jesus, let's start over. 6 points. So that would be just T1 with my setup. Well, it's kind of fun to watch, but I think I'm going to shut it off. So I'm going to pull the stream down. Thanks for coming by. If you did, if you didn't, I don't blame you at all. This is just boring as tears. But you see what we're doing here with the algos trading. It's a little hard out over here, and doing okay. Where are we now? We're at about 18 to 11, so 7 handles. Not bad. That's okay. And it may continue to break. You never know. There's our low so far. There's our ETH low so far. What have we got below us? I would guess if they can get through this place here, we might get down to the IB low. Here. Let's see what happens. I have no clue. I'm going to shut it down. Have a great night. Do something good for yourself. Have fun, but be safe. And be back here at 8 o'clock in the morning for the pre-market and the cash session. Thanks a lot for coming by, and I'm out of here.